This Dad's a Mama Bear presents Worse Than a Terrorist. Again, this is about father alienation survivors. So, when my ex-wife tried the move of putting a protective order on, that was because I was very involved in my children's medical care. And I had a daughter who was repeatedly having infections and all kinds of illnesses. So I pressed the hospital to look further into that. And they wouldn't. So Dr. Henry, their primary care doctor in 15% better, primary care doctor in Kaiser, wouldn't look further into it. So I kept pressing, hey, well, let's have a specialist look into it. So we go to the specialist, and the mother speaks to the specialist beforehand, tells her whatever story that helps her be successful, to have people that don't know me alienate me. And the specialist says her solution, the specialist, her name also might be Joy. I want to get her name for you later. But she was in Tyson's corner, and her solution was that what we should do is not test the child anymore. So if the child is repeatedly having an infection, the results of the test are false. So the solution is don't test the child anymore. So then I thought, wow, now that can be no solution. So I spoke to the highest authority I could find in Kaiser, and they wrote back and said, yeah, they support the doctor's conclusion that you shouldn't test the child. So I said, well, let's go outside of Kaiser. So I went outside of Kaiser, got a medical opinion, and that was at Children's Hospital. I hope they got that. Children's Medical Center. And there the solution was so simple. They said this child needs to eat properly, needs to be going to the restroom every 2 hours, and needs to increase fruit and vegetables. It was that simple. So when I gave that diagnosis, when the doctor gave us that diagnosis, and the doctor said, I recommend you get the book called It's No Accident, about how to have proper movements, bowel movements, and urination and everything. Get the book. So basically it was feed the child properly. So after that conclusion, the mother put a protective order against me. So if she were successful and had the protection order extended, then I would not have been able to have contact with my children ever again. So I had to scramble, skip mortgage payment, skip car payment, and get a lawyer. Don't put that in your mouth, honey. So I had a lawyer for that day, and I told the lawyer's asking, so what did you do? I said, I went to the house. I don't get visitation. I have joint custody, but I never get to exercise it. So I went to their house in King George, and I rolled down my window and I sang songs to them out the window. And he said, did you get out the car? No. Did you threaten them in any way? Did you curse them? No, nothing. Well, what did you do? I said, I sang songs. He said, now I'm going to have to believe you here. I mean, it sounds like your story is believable. Well, let's just go with that. Is there anything else you need to tell me? No. He calls me before the case was heard, and is there anything you need to tell me? No. We get to court that day. He was actually late. Maybe he'd forgotten. So I was very worried, because it was just going to be me before Judge Franklin, who I have not had much success with, and probably offended by not knowing court procedure and all that kind of stuff. And just, you know, I'm going to come into this profession where he has been practicing, and I'm going to come in as a novice and try to represent myself. People think I want to, putting some of this sawdust under my knee because it hurts. People think I wanted to represent myself. Well, that's foolish, and I don't want to represent myself. but I also can't take money to give to a lawyer, and then how will I feed my children? How will I pay for my cars? How will I have a place to live? So my goal was to just represent myself, do the best I can, try to hold on to my children so I can have a house for them. I never had a house for them before. So I foolishly represented myself and lost. So here I am before the judge who issued the protective order, the temporary protective order. And my lawyer's late. And then they call my lawyer, and he says he's on his way, and they said, "Oh, Mr. Bingham, he's on the way." I said, "Okay, thank God." He gets there, he said, "Let me speak to you. Now, tell me the truth. Is there anything? Did you threaten her? Did you?" "No, I didn't do anything." Okay, so we go into court. It takes about 2 minutes. Her lawyer begins to say how I should have a permanent protective order placed against me because I'm a future threat or something like this. And my lawyer interrupts and says, "Okay, I object." And what are the objections? "Well, he didn't threaten her." I shouldn't teach you to lean up here. Hey, don't be on this machine. Step back from it. Yeah. Thank you, little mama. He didn't protect. So then the judge asked some questions. I kind of get mixed up on how it went, but the judge asked. No, my lawyer asked ex-wife, "Natalie, did he threaten you?" "No." "Did he hit you?" "No." "Did he have a gun?" "No." "Did he have a weapon?" "No." "Did he get out of his car?" "No." The lawyer turns to Judge Franklin. Your Honor, there is no reason here to extend the protective order, and this man didn't even leave his car. Judge says, "Case dismissed." Bam! Slams it. I'm still sitting there, kind of stunned. The lawyer says, "Let's go. That's it. Get up. Let's go." I said, "That's it?" He said, "Yeah, let's go." He takes me into the back room, and he says, "I didn't believe you when you told me that you really did nothing, but then out of your ex-wife's own words, Natalie Bingham says you did nothing." And he said, "I have never seen, in all my years of being a lawyer, I have never seen such horrible custody conditions as you have." He said, "I have defended criminals, I have defended murderers, drug dealers, I have represented many people who should not be able to see their children, even people who have sexually harmed their children." And then he said, "And even terrorists have more access to their children than you do. So get some money together, come to me, and you know, I would try to help you get a better custody situation." Well, don't have that opportunity at this time, so still foolishly representing myself. But yeah, even terrorists have more access and the ability to communicate and see and touch and raise and parent their children than I do. I read a case of a man who raped a girl and got her pregnant, and he has access to the child. So yeah, even terrorists have better custody arrangement than I do.